Gentlemen and ladies, please welcome to the show of Energy Crisis in Africa. My name is Ochieng Gideon, energy expert. For any comments and any concerns, consultations, you can visit us through our media channels and also our phone numbers, which are given down below. YouTube, X, Facebook, LinkedIn. We also have our email for your communication purposes. So energy is the future, and future is energy. Welcome. In Africa, we are still lagging behind in terms of nuclear power generation. And with this, it will inform us and create awareness about nuclear energy and programs that we have in Africa. The existing ones and also the programs that are in pipeline that are yet to be designed and implemented. Nuclear energy in a simple way or simple manner is that it is the energy that is produced or generated when uranium atoms collides with the neutrons and it splits, and with that, in the process, the energy or heat energy is produced, and when the heat energy is produced, it is used to produce steam or generate steam by the steam generators, and then it is applied to the turbine, which is used to run the turbines and also eventually runs the generators, and electricity is produced and supplied for various usage. So the steam that comes out of the turbine is condensed and taken back to the nuclear reactor. So with this chain reaction that occurs is due to the continuous production of the neutrons which collides with the uranium. So it creates a chain reaction. So the heat is just enormous. So the heat that is produced is cold. It must be cooled. And that's why we need a lot of water. And that's why as per the design, the nuclear power plants are stationed or installed at the large water bodies, like the lakes, the seas, So with these, you'll find that this heat that is produced, that is enormous, it must be cooled down the reactors. You also need to cool the steam so that it is condensed back to the nuclear reactor. So in Kenya, we have program where we are focusing on producing 5,000 megawatts of power. So with this, only nuclear energy programs must be put in place so that we are able to achieve this. Even our president, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, while in Dubai during this week, he talked about the energy crisis in Kenya, leave alone the Africa as a whole. But in Kenya, we have energy crisis whereby we need to be industrialized, and even the putting up the data centers needs enormous energy. And it sounded funny that, Kenya is producing currently at 2,300 megawatts, and yet one data center needs 1,000 megawatts, which now makes it impossible, for us to have the data centers. And this is a disadvantage to even the Kenyan government and the Kenyan people and the whole of Africa as a whole. So we need to really rethink on how we want to produce this energy to make us even leverage on the opportunities that that the government is intending for the people of Kenya. So nuclear energy is the way to go. And if I can remember, even the former PM, His Excellency Dr. Raila Amolo Odinga, who is also an engineer, a mechanical engineer, understood the concept of nuclear energy. And that's why even where he studied in Germany, they are running huge nuclear power plants. So with us here, if we can do even just 2 nuclear power plants that can be able to produce 5,000 and another 5,000 megawatts, will be good to go. That is 10,000 megawatts up from 2,300. So which means all the energy requirements will be met. Some of the benefits of nuclear energy is that, number one, it produces clean energy, where it does not produce energy that also produces carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, which contributes to global warming. So it means that we'll have energy and not contributing to global warming, which is a big plus. Because in this world, we have to focus on global warming. Because we live here just once, and we also need to live also for others by practicing good practices that are going to enable the people living in this world to live in a harmoniously way, and also live in a good environmentally friendly places. Another good thing is that large amount of power can be produced just with a single process of nuclear fission. Another advantage is that it will create more jobs, because this is an enormous investment that is going to be put in place. 500 billion Kenya shillings is not a joke. And this is just an investment that is done once, and it will take years, before even the lifespan of the power plant is reached. The fourth advantage is that the fuel being a fuel that has a chain reaction, it means that we'll use less fuel and also at lesser cost. So with this, in any energy production or generation, fuel cost is the most important thing to look at. It's a very important factor to look at. So another thing is that nuclear energy will help in fish breeding, because the warm water that is released back into the lake or into the sea helps in breeding of the fish, as you are aware, and even the environmentalists will tell you that, and even the marine experts, that fish only breeds in warm waters. And that's why you cannot find fish breeding at the center of the lake or at the center of the sea. No, they'll have to come back at the lake shores so that they are able to breed. Other thing is that the economies of these countries shall really prosper you know, because it will affect all the sectors of the economy, from agriculture to you know, to trade, to small and micro enterprises, to manufacturing. So it touches on all sectors of the economy, which means the economy will boom. Another advantage is that when you look at the social aspect of these kind of projects or programs, is that people will have to, you know, they will be able to access the energy at lower cost, because now that we are going to produce nuclear energy, which means the nuclear power will be in excess, you know. So the laws of economics dictates that when the supply is higher than the demand, the cost reduces or goes down, and that is what will happen. We are only incurring this high cost of electricity because it is limited in supply. But when it is more in supply, the cost will have to go down. Yeah, and listening to the voices of environmental activists and even the common, you know, the common citizens of Africa and even in Kenya in particular, is that there is lack of awareness, you know, of what nuclear energy is all about. Many people think it's about bombs, you know. It's not about bombs. Energy, the nuclear energy can be used for various purposes. One of them that is extreme, and that one is not really a feature or a program or even a policy or even a thinking of Kenya, of us going into manufacture of bombs, because that is there. So our focus as Kenya and Africa is that we need the nuclear energy for nuclear power generation and nothing else. So with this, you find that people are not really having the knowledge, you know, the exposure of the materials that they need to read, or even the exposure from the media about the nuclear energy. For example, when you want to focus on installation or having a program of nuclear energy in a particular place, you know, you don't need to come with a lot of English. You know, the local people do not really need a lot of English. You need to communicate you know, your programs, the nuclear programs, in a simplistic manner that is able, that can enable the locals to understand. It needs to be clear, you know. They don't need a lot of jargons. So I urge even the new pair to come down, because I listened to them during public participation in Kisumu Aga Khan Hall. And even how they were really putting it through to the people, you know, was not really in a way that the common wananchi should be able to understand what nuclear power energy. So to them, it's just about bombs and nothing else. That's what they are seeing, and even the radiation, that is what they are seeing. But you need to convince them. We need to convince them. So I urge the NUPIA to go down again and come up with strategies, yeah, and consult with people like us, the energy experts. You know, they should also consult with the social scientists on how they can be able to navigate, you know, these programs to the people so that they are able to understand and accept the nuclear program. It was really a backlash on the NUPIA during the public participation, because even the environmentalists and even the other stakeholders. From the point at which they are rejecting the program was really something that, they were arguing from the point of illiteracy and ignorance, So NUPIA needs to really do a lot of good jobs, and we are here to help. We are here to help. So please come, bring us on board, so that we help you achieve your programs with the local people, and even to the Africa as a whole. Africa can benchmark what once the nuclear program in Kenya has been achieved, So you can also become a leader, in terms of nuclear programs in Kenya, in Africa, sorry, So another challenge is that the cost of installation of nuclear power plants can be really enormous. Even as you have seen, even our president, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto in Dubai, the cost that is projecting 1.2 trillion, So how to get this money, this huge money for energy generation is a challenge, but it can be done. It can be done. We are hopeful that it can be done. Another challenge is that there is just fear on where we'll get the fuel, the nuclear fuel, that is the uranium. And this is something that really can be done, because there's a lot of mining. We have a lot of minerals, including uranium in Africa. So with that, we'll have plenty of uranium fuel that can be used in our nuclear energy generation. Another challenge is that is anticipated is that how are we going to dispose, the nuclear waste? And I can assure you as an expert is that the nuclear waste are transported in a specialized bogies, in rail transport, whereby the bogies are put in a way that they are able to prevent radiation from penetrating into the atmosphere or the environment. They're also kept in cool environment so that they can be able to cool for years before they are eventually disposed. So people should not be worried. Even during the handling of the nuclear power generation processes at the reactors, we have robots, we have manipulators. So it's not about human going there directly to touch, the enriched uranium, which is used as a fuel, and also the waste. No. It is handled by robots. It is automated. The system is automated. And even the storage is well done. Are you aware that you can stand on a nuclear reactor?
You can.
And there is no radiation that is emitted from the reactor?
How?
Simply because of the materials that are used in the manufacture of the nuclear reactor. The technology is there, and they are aware of all these fears that we have about nuclear. The technology is there, to protect us from all the fears that we have about safety, of even the nuclear power plant. And I was coming into another fear of safety of the nuclear power plants. We have various measures that have been put in place so that the power plant operates optimally in a safe manner, you know, where, for example, if there's a problem in the reactor, the whole plant shuts down, but we have continued power supply. Can I surprise you with something, Mr. Stormy?
Yes.
Why are we not having electric trains in Kenya? It is because we don't have constant power supply. You can imagine power failure while people are traveling in the train and we are at Savo. You can imagine, you know? So such kind of projects can only be undertaken when there is constant power supply, you know? And the nuclear energy will be able to sort out everything. Yeah, you know, there is no industrialization that you can achieve when you don't have energy, sufficient energy supply. Even in America, we have a lot of nuclear power plants. China, Germany, you know, Korea, and even those developed countries, they have huge nuclear reactor power plants. In Africa, we only have one, and that is in South Africa. We have Quebec nuclear power plant, which only produces 2,200 megawatts, you know. So the program that we have in Kenya, if implemented, will even double or will make close to tripling of what is produced in South Africa. So it will be huge. So it is only South Africa that has adopted and implemented the nuclear energy power supply. And it's only one plant. It's when they are now planning on how to have a second power plant. So which means if Kenya, with the economy that we have, we can be able to produce the 10,000 megawatts that is required. So in the next episode, we are going to expect on the detailed structure or design of the nuclear power plant, and also the transmission of this power that has been generated, and also look at the accessibility, you know, of this energy that is going to be produced. So, and even the cost and all the sale, you know, of this nuclear power energy. So we'll have diagrams. Yeah, we'll have the pictorial view of the nuclear power plant. So we'll be able to show from this stage, from the initial stages to the last stages of the process of nuclear power generation. So don't worry about that. We'll work around to ensure that you have what you need to have, so that you become aware of the nuclear. Even when you'll be telling stories and even having conversations with other people, now you'll be aware of what really is happening, not responding to arguments from, you know, the point of ignorance and illiteracy. So we are here to educate you, you know, we are here to make you feel that you are part and parcel of the nuclear programs that Kenya government is really having and hopeful to implement, so that we have cheaper energy, clean energy.